All right, now we're in a 2022 GMC Sierra, and why do I keep filming this stuff in the cold? Why can't I do this in July? All right, outside temperature is about 33 degrees. It's the first clear day we've had, and they pick it up tomorrow, so this is the best I got. I have no more time with this truck. I did tow it last year. I'll put some numbers on the screen from that experience as well. This is a 2022 model year, but it's a limited truck is what they call it. They call it limited, which is like a trim level, but in this case it's basically last year's truck with this year's model number. And so they are not building the new 2022 models, the new interior, until March, and it's February. So this is what I got. All right, let's get the squat. So we currently have 57, I'd say 57 right on the nose, if I were to stand back and look at it. Yeah. And let's see what it does with the squat, hooking the trailer up. All right, all hitched up with our weight stripping hitch. And we have the cool thing right here. This is the device they added, so you can't drop the tailgate, the section down, and smack your ball. I'll have more on that in another video. I'm gonna do some research on that, make sure I know when it came out. And it got really cold out here. Like, holy cow. Why can't I never do this in summertime? All right, so looking about 55 and a half or so. Okay. So, inch and a half a drop, which is fairly typical. Most trucks seem like an inch and a half is about where they're at. All right, let's go ahead and put on tow haul mode, which is there. And tow haul mode is done. I want to see there's a trailer set up. Now, settings. Trailering. I'm going to no trailer profile connected. I don't have the lights hooked up. I'm gonna go hook the lights up. Aha! Lights hooked up. Now we get it turned on. So we're gonna use a guest trailer. No faults detected. Let's do. I don't have any interior cameras or rear trailer. I could. There's our vehicle transmission temperature. I'm gonna leave that on the screen. That's kind of nice. It shows right there. And then accessory. I wonder if I can get. Let me do a trailer. So let's create profile. Let's do test RV. Next, we have a conventional hookup. It is a travel trailer. Okay. So I have that set up. Okay. Towing trailer maintenance recalled. Test RV gain. There's a gain. It's 0 to 100. I can see the light turned on here, so I can probably add to the gain. Let's see what happens here. Yep, there he goes. Gain is all the way to 10. I like it about 5. Right in the middle is where I kind of like to tow. Okay. Towing assistance. We have tire pressure monitoring, trailer maintenance. Done. So we're set up. So then status. I don't have the tire set up on the screen yet, but I can do that too. Connections, tires, cameras, checklist, which is important for me. Do the lights, trailers, and settings. Okay, got that all done. I want to look though. I'll put it in reverse and check the camera. So there's a camera there, camera there. I can have a camera on the hitch. You can see my hitch set up, right? And then you can see that. That's always a funny camera. But I got that camera there, and I can do the lines and non-lines. So, okay, all right. So there we go. So all hooked up, ready to hit the road. Let's boogie. So this is the 3-liter inline 6 diesel made into a 10-speed transmission. It's one of my favorite powertrains out there. A word of note: I've talked to a few people on Instagram and places. There are a few issues with this engine. There is an issue where it's got a long crank, no start, or eventually starts, basically a slow start. It'll crank for a while, then it'll eventually turn over. There's an exciter wheel that seems like that had gotten bent somewhere in production. GM is still searching through some fixes on that. Also, there's a really cool hookup in the back in the receiver hitch that kind of solves one of the major flaws with the multi-position tailgate. So I'll do a separate video about that because I'm doing more research on it, but I thought it was pretty cool this morning, hooking up the trailer. Again, we have the same trailer like I talked about in the intro, doing the same course, just trying to get similar numbers. I'm heading towards Wildcat Hills as it is, and we'll get over the top, and then we'll head out 25 miles, turn on, head back. Like I said, this is one of my favorite powertrains. It's really smooth power, really good performance for fuel economy, and just overall big fan of it. Now, in this situation, what's interesting is the fuel economy isn't as good as it used to be. So it shows on my little Monroney sticker, 20 city, 23 highway, 21 combined. And that is because it's AT4 package. And apparently, my understanding of it is, whenever a manufacturer decides to sell so many versions of the truck, like trim levels, like AT4, Denali, whatever, if they sell a certain percentage of that, a lot of times they will report those fuel economy numbers different than they will other trucks. That way you don't go get, like, say, an SLE that has a two-wheel drive SLE that gets 29 miles a gallon in, say, a diesel, and then you end up getting the AT4 that gets 23 or 21 combined, really. And so that large gap would create a lot of customers' concerns. And so, yeah, that's why they do it that way. And so that makes sense. I want to make sure I'm put on my screen the transmission temperature. That's always a big question, especially half tons, because you are putting a lot of strain on the powertrain. So transmission fluid's 140 degrees, and I'll update that you as we go. I'm going to set, let's see, a little windy. It's a little windy this morning. I'm going to go ahead and set cruise and see the trailer brake controller works. I have adaptive cruise on. They also have regular cruise too. And so I have the trailer hooked up. I'm not experiencing much sway. I have the weight distributing hitch, so it's mitigate a lot of that, and the wind's not blowing too much. But let me go ahead and get down the road. Okay, here we go. We're making our way up the top. I'm going to turn the corner. What's interesting is I have the heads-up display, which is showing me the degree of angle the truck is at. So right now I'm at 0, and I'll be curious to see as we climb up how much the degree goes up. That's usually off-roading. It shows you kind of this way, and it shows you this way. I actually, that's this way at 0. I'm at 2% or 2 degrees of yeah, it's interesting. Anyways, so heading up to the top Wildcat Hills, I got the setting screen back up. I'm 178 degrees transmission fluid. Now it says 42 degrees, so I'm getting closer to that 50 degree mark where I wanted to be. It has downshifted. I've been pressing the up and down on the shifter, and it's not changing the gear for me. And frankly, I don't want to mess with it. Going up a hill, towing, last thing I want to do is mess around with stuff, so I'm going to let it do its thing. But I'm going to theorize I'm down a gear. Again, speed limit set at 55. I don't believe in doing 90 miles an hour down the road in RV, especially with a half ton. I just don't think it's safe. And so 4 degrees. We're at 4 degrees of tilt. And so going up the top, I've always wondered what this is. So that's interesting. It shows me on the screen. 4, 3, 4. So heading to the top, we're going to get to the top here and make the turn. 183 degrees. Again, on the back side, when I come up the other way, I'll have the camera here. I'll show you the gauges as I'm going up the back. But with the sun on my face, it just doesn't work so well. Still 4 degrees. Elevation. Oh, here comes that sun. Hold on, let me get to the top. 3 degrees, starting to level out a little bit. 2 degrees, and we get to the top. 1 degree, and it just shifted back, so I'm at less than 2,000 RPMs. I did that about 2,500 RPMs. I'm at 0 degrees, so yeah, it's leveling out. So let's go down. I'll go down, turn around, I'll tell you what the fuel economy is halfway point, and then we'll come back and I'll show you on screen what it's doing when I go up the hill. All right, here we go. We're turning at my turnaway spot, 25 miles on this test. We'll drive back, unhook. It's about 2 miles unladen to the gas station to get gas, diesel fuel, and then we'll hand calculate what the number is. I gotta tell you what, that showing the side camera for your turning is mucho cool. That's a cool view right there. I'm turning right, you can see it shows all the way down me, which is nice on that screen, so very handy. Big fan of that. And yeah, corners pretty well. Not a sports car, but turned just great. No problem turning radius. If you follow this channel at all, you know that one of my concerns with GM is always the seat comfort, and I can feel a little bit. Short trips is fine. Long trips, you can take these seats and shove it. 10.8 miles per gallon is my average. Sorry, I didn't mean to come out that way, but it's seats. I need comfortable seats. I'm in Auto all-wheel drive, by the way. I typically drive most time with GM products. I've checked the owner's manual on different times, different model years, and they basically tell you can drive with it. All it's going to do is it's got a clutch in there that engages the front axles when it needs it, and it's computer operated. So I like it. Or auto four-wheel drive, I should say, not auto all-wheel drive, but auto four-wheel drive. And so you never know when you need it, and maybe a wind gust hits and my tires slip, and I think it's just handy. So I'm leaving that baby on. Again, 10.8 mile per gallon. The computer over here says average fuel economy with test RV, which is the name of the test book we put back, was 10.3. So it's calculating its own mile per gallon with just towing, separate than the trip odometer. I don't know, kind of interesting. So again, setting at 55 miles an hour. The wind is moving a little bit, but I'm not that concerned about it. I don't know what the wind is today. Probably 10, 15. You know, if it doesn't blow in western Nebraska, then we all fall over, right? It's rolling, being in the wind. It's my Nebraska joke. Anyways, transmission temperature is fine. Again, cold morning, so I'm not gonna don't think I have any issues there. I'll head back to Wildcat Hills. I'll flip the camera around. I'll show you what it's doing when it goes up the hill, and then we'll get back to the gas station. I'm gonna go back and unhook, then go to the gas station, because I don't like pulling the gas stations as a camper. I just now when I can unhook it, and it's pretty easy. So let's go. Before we get back to the GMC, two quick things. First of all, this is really cool. It's VIN-specific trailer information. So this truck, max payload 1484, curb weight, I can know that. I have max towing. I have 8,800 pounds max towing in this. So it's really cool. So they do that label, VIN-specific. So whatever truck you have, all the features, they actually show that. All right, here we go. We're going up the steep portion. I just, this is a 2% grade here. 2%, yeah, I'm gonna call it 2% grade because I have the number up there for me. We go down a little bit, and so it'll downshift. There's our transmission temperature, which I really like that feature. So I can kind of keep an eye over here. I can pull it up on this screen too. It shows up. This dork is gonna cut me off, so I'm gonna slow down a little bit because I have adaptive cruise on. Now I'm doing 50. I don't know why people can't go a little farther to pass me. You don't have to pass me right away and switch lanes, 2 lanes. Nobody else is out here. It's Nebraska. It's early morning. Nobody else is driving around here. Let's see, 2,000. Oh, we shifted again. That's about 2,700. And the grade is 4%. I don't know if you can see the heads-up display. But 4%, or 4 degrees, whatever. I'm gonna probably say it wrong, but 4 degrees of elevation there on the screen. Almost at 3,000, holding well. Transmission temperature is not budging, getting not even close to 200, and that's substantially lower than other brands. For whatever reason, GM likes their temperatures lower. Ford does as well. Synthetic oil is changing that as far as transmission fluid. And we're getting towards the top of that 2% grade now, according to the heads-up display, or 2 degrees. Or 2 degrees of grade. Make the corner, and then we're almost there. It's just gonna hold it steady. It's one of the beauties of the diesel, just holds it steady. Plenty of power. Really, that torque is such a great number. And to the top. All right, one of the things I wanted to test and I forgot about was my sound meter. Let's see how loud it is in the cabin. Now I've begun to climb, and I'm going to see at the peak of the climb, I'm going to tell you what the number is. Right now I got about 67 decibels inside the cabin. Okay, peak of the climb I had about 69, so 69 decibels. So pretty quiet, I mean, overall. It's not a very loud cabin. I don't feel like I talk very loud, but yeah, that's what I had, 69. So we'll see how that matches up with other trucks. Okay, let's go ahead and go down Wildcat Hills. Again, it's only, I don't know, a mile or so going down, and pretty good degree of this. So 4 degrees up, 4 degrees down. A very typical southwestern United States kind of thing without the mountains. Once you get in the mountains, a whole different deal. One of the benefits to this diesel is that it's got a built-in exhaust brake that's activated by the tow haul mode. You know, the pressing buttons, whatever, and it uses the exhaust fumes from the turbos to slow down the engine. So it slows it down nice and easily, and there's no concerns there. I think I got that right. Still a little need more coffee this morning, but yeah, going down the hill, pretty confident. It's picking up a couple miles per hour, so I'm at 57, and holding pretty steady. again, I just such a big fan of this powertrain. You know, you can drive it unladen, and it's got plenty of torque offline, goes plenty fast, and you can drive it loaded, and it performs. I can't say it performs as well as a heavy-duty diesel does, but it's pretty darn good. And so, like I said, I'm a huge fan of this powertrain in this truck. I actually like this truck a lot overall. I just need a cushion. Like I said, these seats really do bug me. All right, so we're coming around the corner as she comes. Coming around the corner as she comes. There, we're at the bottom of Wildcat Hills, and thanks for following with me there. 11.5 mile per gallon, that's what it says, 40 miles, and the temperature is still below 200. Let me get the exact number. I can pull it up over here. It is, survey says, 190 degrees is transmission fluid temperature. So yeah, under 200. So that's where you want to be. Again, a lot of people have concerns when they get above 200, 225. They have concerns about the seals, how long they're going to last, how much damage you do to transmission. I can tell you that different brands are doing different types of transmission fluid, and they're letting the transmissions run a little bit hotter. Ongoing debate on that. Find out in the comments. I'll tell you, it's just, that's what's going on. So I'm going to stop talking, get back to the house, unload this, go to the gas station. Let's see what the fuel economy is on hand calculated and on the computer. Yeah, let's see how much gas we used, or diesel we used. How much fuel. I always go to the click, same as you guys would. What do we got? 339.49 today. 2.44 gallons. Whole lot of nothing. So efficient. So 2.44 gallons. Let's go see what the fuel economy looks like inside. Okay, so back in the truck, the distance driven was 50.2 miles, and it says 12.1 mile per gallon, and the tank's full. So I don't know what's happened earlier, because it's saying I got 20 miles per gallon because I only used 2 gallons to drive 50 miles. Well, that doesn't make sense. I'm telling you, it's more like 12. The hand calculation is wildly off, and I've driven this truck a few times and towed with it, and it's always around 10, 12 with this type of trailer. That's what I've always kind of gotten in other videos. And so, again, really a big fan of this powertrain. Unladen and laden with the trailer, performs really well. It is worth noting on this engine that it is part of the maintenance schedule that they put a belt-driven timing belt and oil pump in the rear of the engine that requires you to drop the transmission to inspect the belt every 150,000 miles. GM tells me they've seen those belts go longer, but they want to do that maintenance interval to make sure there's no problems and that belt doesn't shred or anything like that. That's caused a lot of concern because dropping transmission to inspect a belt doesn't really feel well for a lot of people. It doesn't really sit well with them. But I will tell you that once every, what are we talking about? Every 10 years, 12 years, I got to spend $1,000 basically to check that belt. I'm going to replace it anyways. I'm not going to inspect it. I'm just going to replace it. I'm going to be there anyway. So, yeah, pro and con there. For me, would it stop me from buying this truck? No. I mean, it's so much more efficient in all aspects and such a better tower that I would be willing to put up with that. But other people, them's fighting words. Put your comments down below. Again, I'll look for your feedback. Other videos over here. We have full comparisons, truck versus truck. Those are all coming out. Really good stuff I want to pay attention to. Website down below. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you down the road.